What's up, everybody? This is Red Devil 23 coming with you. Sakura Ain't Useless Part 2. Now, like I told y'all before, I would have finished fully the whole video, the whole playlist that I'm finna do in this video. We starting off with this one. This the first video of the playlist, and then we're gonna go all the way down. So, yeah, we're gonna get into it. Again, I read, so appreciate you, sir. Let's get into it.
From the moment I started doing videos on the different pairings in Naruto, one of the most requested was...
By the way, I never said this in my last video, but y'all can like and subscribe to me, but it's his video, so also like and subscribe, or leave a comment of how you found the video in this video. Leave a comment saying that you found his video probably from me, somebody else, blah blah blah, whatever. If you don't know him for real. If you do know him, then just like and subscribe.
Was an explanation for how the parents of Choji and Karui got together. Well, it took some digging, but I finally found the answer. However, I have to be upfront with you guys. The answer was sitting on my bookshelf all along. In today's video, I'm gonna finally shed some light on how the most seemingly random pairing in all of Naruto came to be. Back in the fall of 2014, when the Naruto manga finally ended, every Naruto website and Facebook group that I frequented had the same reaction to Choji and Karui being paired together. When the fuck did this happen, and how the fuck did it happen, was the question that a lot of people asked. Some people even stated that this was proof Kishimoto ran out of fucks to give when the Naruto manga ended. After all, there was no interaction between these two. It was the hugest definition of trolling. Well, by accident, I found the answer to how they fell in love with each other on my second reading of the Naruto epilogue novel, Sakura's Story, Love Riding the Spring Breeze. There's a small passage devoted to Choji falling for Karui. The dialogue given for this topic is sandwiched between the revelation that Shikamaru is dating Tamari and the revelation that Ino is declaring her love for Sai to Sakura. So, as you all can see, you can see how I missed this bit of information on my first reading of the novel. After all, there are far more interesting things in this novel, like the Anbu working to undermine Kakashi, Sasuke being framed as a terrorist, and the tailed beast drug and the Sharingan pill being created by Danzo's followers. What I'll do for you all now is read the bits of passage that are devoted to the explanation for how Karui won the heart of Choji, and then I'll come back to you guys to discuss this further in detail. And it's here that I'm going to begin quoting. It's spring for everyone, I guess, but even if Shikamaru is involved with Tamari, Choji at least is still more interested in stuffing his face than eating, right? Sakura asked. No, he's totally not, Ino said. The look on her face let Sakura know that she was imparting confidential information. Who is it? Sakura asked. Karui from the Hidden Cloud Village. No way, Sakura said. This was unexpected.
Girl talk.
How can I put this? He's with that fierce girl? Lately, Choji has been making all kinds of excuses to go to the Hidden Cloud Village, which I thought was pretty curious, so I grilled him about it. And he was mumbling and stammering all this stuff about how he had dinner plans with Karui. It was only a matter of time before he found someone, I guess, Ino said. End quote. Okay, so now you guys can see why I missed this bit of information on my first read-through of the Sakura novel. It was buried in a bunch of relationship gossip between Ino and Sakura, as well as giving us information about the different responsibilities of the Konoha 11 members who are still alive. What I found interesting about this is that Choji began dating Karui shortly after Shikamaru got serious for Tamari, and I think that this is pretty interesting because I don't think it's a coincidence. Shikamaru is Choji's best friend. While he and Ino are close, Ino worked almost as hard as Sakura when it came to running the hospital and setting up her clinics. The fact that Choji found someone as outspoken as Karui makes sense when you take all the circumstances into play. Part of why Choji and Shikamaru worked as friends is Shikamaru knew which buttons to push on Choji and even helped him with his confidence at times. Karui clearly doesn't hesitate to speak her mind, and given Choji's personality, being with someone as assertive as her totally makes sense. In a way, very loosely mirrors Tamari, only that she has a bit more of a temper than Tamari does. However,
now, I'll probably let it finish, but true best friend, yeah, Shikamaru and Choji, but Naruto actual best friend is always gonna be Shikamaru, because he been there since day one, literally. Why in the beginning, I don't care his filth, I don't care. Why in the beginning, when Naruto was struggling talking to Sasuke, before they even got in the Genin Academy, Naruto was friends with Shikamaru them. Even though his family, his dad did not care. I think Choji's dad cared, because he tried to kill Naruto at one time when Naruto stole the scroll, so he cared. Yeah.
Naruto Uzumaki might be the hero of the 4th Great Ninja War, but what's most equally important for his Hokage journey is to remember that he's a kid who failed the Academy graduation exam 3 times before he became a Genin. No one thought that the village idiot would ever become a decent Genin, let alone the future 7th Hokage. Like Sasuke told Boruto in Naruto Boruto the movie, to understand and appreciate Naruto, you have to look at not at who he is today, but instead you must take a look at who he was, looking closely at how he overcame his many failures on his path to becoming Hokage. This is why, for me personally, one of my favorite moments in the 15-year time skip between Sasuke leaving for his redemption journey and Momoshiki arriving during the versus Momoshiki arc is the period in time when Naruto taught at the academy, passing on his knowledge to the next generation of ninja hopefuls. In today's latest installment of After Naruto Shippuden, we're going to be taking a look at why Naruto taught at the academy. For those of you who are new, After Naruto Shippuden is a series on this channel where we take a look at the events of the story that transpired between Naruto chapter 699 and the start of Naruto Boruto the movie. In this instance, in the year before Naruto got married to Hinata, Naruto had begun teaching at the academy when he wasn't off on high-profile missions and being forced to sit in meetings with Kakashi and Tsunade, who were both in the process of grooming him to become the next Hokage. Now, I don't think I'm alone when I say that Naruto being a teacher isn't anything I expected. This guy regularly played pranks, tried to leave out of class early, and was far from the ideal student. However, you could argue it's because he was the teacher's worst nightmare that Naruto was also the perfect choice to become a teacher at the academy. What should be noted is that Naruto does have somewhat of a gift for teaching when you read the series very closely, being set up as far back as chapter 2 of the Naruto manga, where he told Konohamaru that there are no shortcuts to becoming Hokage. Later on, Naruto would teach Konohamaru the Rasengan, an extremely complex jutsu that took Minato several years to create. Underneath all the pranks and outrage,
keep in mind, when this Minato's one shot come out, oh my god, we already got the leaks, and the leaks look so amazing. So when the 4th chapter come out with the translation
just moments of idiocy, Naruto had the makings of a really good teacher. The information is given to us in the Sakura Hiden novel, Love Riding the Spring Breeze, which I'll leave linked in the description box for anyone who might be interested in reading the novel and doing so in a way that supports the channel. In the scene I'm going to share with you guys, Naruto is teaching a class at the academy, and Sakura Haruno is watching from a distance with a very soft smile on her face as she watches Naruto. Being the eternal knuckleheaded ninja that he is, Naruto notices Sakura spying on him and begins to act out very slightly. We see Naruto tease his former crush by calling her a, quote, superhuman ninja lady, end quote, and getting his class of students to chant the name back at Sakura before he pleads with Sakura to help him teach a lesson, and gets his class to start pleading with him alongside of him, and gets his class to start pleading to help Sakura teach the lesson as well. It's right after this moment, after Sakura helps Naruto with another lesson, that that we see why Naruto chose to teach at the academy. So what I'll do for you guys now is read a bit from the novel and come back to unpack what we just read. And it's here I'm going to begin quoting. Sakura took the can of juice that Naruto offered. After the lesson was over, they walked to a park near the academy. Sitting side by side at a bench, they drank their juice in silence. Hey, thanks for helping me out with the lesson, Sakura-chan. Sure, it was fun for me too. A nice change of pace. But I was really surprised. You really have the makings of a good teacher, Naruto. Naruto laughed. Sakura-chan, I guess I was just always falling behind at the academy. I totally know how these kids feel who can't do it, you know. I really like coming to the academy and teaching. And quote, what I love about this is that Naruto's character arc got another bump here if you look very closely. He's first introduced as a knuckleheaded ninja who can't pass his exams, and now he's passing on his knowledge to the next generation of hopeful ninja. This moment is critical for Naruto because he's seeing firsthand what Asuma was trying to teach Shikamaru when it came to learning who the king was. The next generation of minds had to
I'm sorry, I don't know about that.
Be groomed and nurtured, and Naruto was doing his part both as a protector as well as a role model and a teacher at the academy. For someone who wanted to be Hokage, this experience was invaluable and something that Naruto needed. When he wasn't on missions or sitting in Hokage meetings, he was teaching at the academy. Those children will one day look at Naruto as Hokage, much as Naruto's class will look at the third Hokage as a pillar for the village. Naruto needed to see just what it was that he was going to be protecting as Hokage and be able to appreciate the position, which added to his maturation process. Moments like this are a sign that Naruto is transforming into the mature Hokage that we see in Boruto Naruto Next Generations. This moment is just as important as Naruto returning to Zabuza's grave, over a year after the Fourth Great Ninja War had ended, where Naruto had reflected on his first mission in the Land of Waves at Zabuza's grave, just as he was officially beginning to take his first steps down the path to being Hokage. This moment here allowed Naruto to see the king before he had his own children, and it would be these experiences that would allow him to pull Academy Sarada to the side during the events of Naruto Gaiden and Owabe, Dinky, and Metal Lee later on in Boruto Naruto Next Generations. Out of all the tailed beasts, the power of the Kyuubi is a legend unto its own. A very strong argument can be made that the full power of the Kyuubi is enough to dwarf the combined power of the remaining 8-tailed beasts. In the years after the end of the Fourth Great Ninja War, a group of Anbu, loyal to Danzo, successfully created what is known as the tailed beast drug, which was created from the DNA left at the site of the Final Valley, where both Naruto and Sasuke fought each other and ended up losing one of their arms in the process. This drug, which I've already covered in another couple of videos, granted the user the power of the Kyuubi. The threat that these ninja posed when the battle took place was so great that Kakashi called Naruto Uzumaki the true Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi to assist him in protecting the village. At the center of the massive attack was Sakura Haruno, who not only fought a life and death battle with the person responsible for the creation of these drugs, but also fought this battle with the intention of clearing the name of Sasuke Uchiha. In today's video, I'm going to share with you all the true, full details of this fight. The information is given to us in the Naruto epilogue novel, Sakura's Story, Love Riding the Spring Breeze. It's in this novel that Sakura Haruno is creating her medical clinics in Konoha as well as the other ninja villages with the intention of helping those who have been traumatized by the Fourth Great Ninja War. It's on a trip to the Hidden Sand village that she learns from Gar that someone is claiming to be Sasuke Uchiha and is gathering forces to revolutionize against the 5 great nations. It's from here that Sakura's quest to clear Sasuke's name that she comes face to face with the man responsible for framing Sasuke Uchiha, and that man is a man named Kido. Kido had done just a good enough job that the Raikage proposed a 5 Kage summit to discuss the execution of Sasuke, which is exactly why it was imperative for Sakura to uncover the information to clear his name. He'd also done a good enough job that Sasuke briefly quit his redemption journey. However, it wasn't for the sake of clearing his name, but instead it was to rescue Sakura from Kido. However, Sakura manages to get free, and after a battle that includes several Anbu cloaked in the tailed beast chakra, it caused enough chaos that Kakashi called Naruto to help him stop the crisis. Like always, it will be here that I'll begin to narrate selected passages from the novel that cover Sakura's portion of this fight. The scene we're about to explore picks up just after Kido fires off several lightning style jutsu as a diversion, which Sakura evades while leaving Sai and Ino alone to deal with the last member of Kido's team. And it's here that I'm going to begin quoting. A wind tore through the forest, making Sakura's hair dance around her head. Well, shall we get started? Kido said. Without responding, Sakura hit the palm of her hand with her left fist. The sound echoed through the forest, the signal for the start of the fight. Kido kicked off a branch and closed the distance between them. They came together, exchanging kicks and punches before pulling apart. Kido suddenly began waving his arms. Once again, bolts of lightning shot towards her. Dodging, Sakura bounded from branch to branch to branch as she closed in on Kido. Her fist, thrust out before her, connected directly with Kido's chest. He let out a cry of pain and then disappeared in a burst of crackling electricity. Damn it! It's a lightning-styled shadow clone! Sakura clicked her tongue. The original Kido was behind Sakura. To her left, he wove signs, moving both hands as if drawing a circle in the air. Lightning style, bear trap jutsu. An enormous circle of lightning in the shape of a bear trap came whizzing through the air, ready to close tightly around her. She wasn't going to be able to dodge it. Building up a thick concentration of chakra in the palms of her hands, she caught hold of the electric blades, snapping in front of her on both sides, the enormous mouths closing in on her. The blades stubbornly continued to press down on her. With a battle cry, she focused her strength and repelled the trap, sparkling electricity as it vanished. Sakura gasped as Kido took out a light purple capsule. It's the tail beast drug. Kido had grown 9 tails. No way! Is he turning into a tail beast? Kido's body changed in a way that was different than when his subordinates took the tail beast drug. The light purple chakra explosively grew larger. Kido's skin began to change. The chakra around his body became something like hard skin, much different than the semi-transparent film-like substance that cloaked his subordinates. 9 tails. The amount of chakra he was emitting, it was overwhelming. There's 9 tails. Sakura sprang forward and immediately felt a roaring wind at her back. He's only waving his tails. She heard the splintering crack of an enormous tree falling in the wind, generated by those tails that had landed on each of the branches. She intended to drop to a defensive posture, but the branch underneath her feet was destroyed just by the pressure of the tail. Sakura was thrown into the air. She didn't fall to the ground. Instead, a tail shooting from the side struck directly in her body. Sakura flew through the forest, smashing through branch after branch after branch. If she hadn't sent chakra through her entire body, the single blow would have knocked her unconscious, knocked her from the fight. Her back slammed into a massive tree trunk. With a creak, she finally came to a stop. She started to slide down the trunk, but she bounced into a counterattack. Dodging the 9 tails, flailing with just a hair's breadth, she drew back her fist. Kido continued to launch his tails in rapid succession, with Sakura dodging each of them. She drove a fist into his chest. The reactive force from her punch against his hard skin threatened to shatter her own body. However, with the crack, it began to appear where she hit him. The cracked outer skin repaired before her very eyes instantaneously, like that of a real Jinchuriki. Sakura gasped. What's going on here? In armor, with unusual hardness, with the ability to self-regenerate, topped with the 9 tails being launched at will. The attacks, they were impossible to predict. What was she gonna do? This just keeps getting worse and worse. Fighting him alone, it wasn't the best idea. Kido wove a sign with both hands. It's the same jutsu as before. The lightning-style bear trap. The circle of electric teeth came snapping at Sakura. She knew she wouldn't be able to stop it this time. The jutsu was enhanced by the tail beast drug. It was several orders of magnitude faster and way more destructive than before. Unable to retreat or outright avoid the attack, Sakura did the only thing she could. She leapt through the circle of lightning and punched Kido with her fist. A tail shot out of nowhere, but she dodged. Another tail shot out, and she dodged again, but the third tail hit. She flew backwards and slammed into an enormous tree, forcing the air from her lungs. She nearly lost consciousness. She clenched her teeth, dodging the tail snaking towards her. Over time, She wasn't able to get closer to Kido than she did before. One tail snaked suddenly, sharply, and she couldn't get out of the way. The thick tail plunged through her stomach, but she ignored the pain shredding her body and continued to run. "I won't die here," Sakura shouted. Ninja art, regeneration. Sakura's body swelled with chakra, and a design rose up on her forehead. The cells where her body had been pierced divided rapidly, healing the wounds. However, the tail was still plunged through her midsection. She couldn't close up the wound, so close to her organs. Screaming in pain, Sakura charged forward, his tail still pierced through her body, firmly lodged inside of her. Sakura.
What's up with Sakura having things stuck up it? What's wrong with Sakura having a fucking pierced stomach and trying to swing at somebody? Tell all through your body, you should just call it a rap. Pull that shit out and go about your day trying to heal or some shit. When you ran to the Madara, he stabbed you. I understand those little small details, but it was still, something. You could have, yeah. You should have learned after that. You don't keep running. Definitely a fucking tail beast tail, but I get it. This one of the novels that I would like to be adapted to a manga, so you could see the actual battle. Cause I know this shit was cutting up at first.
Closed the distance between them and launched punch after punch after punch. She couldn't get another chance to press in this close on the enemy. It wouldn't present itself to her again. She wanted to get as many blows as she could. She punched in rapid succession, but the surface of Kido's body failed to crack. With a roar, Kido waved the tail pierced through Sakura's body, and her body slid off of the tail, desperately focusing her chakra. Sakura continued to close the wound where it pierced her. Sakura gasped at Kido. Arriving in front of Kido, she hurled her fist at him, hit after hit after hit. She screamed as she beat at her opponent. He tried to dodge or guard against her, but she continued her attack in the same spot over and over and over again. She saw a momentary lapse in his guard and pummeled her fist towards him yet again. She watched a single crack race across the hardened outer skin. Sakura shouted, but before she could react, she saw a highly concentrated chakra being readied inside of his mouth. "Oh no, it's a Biju bomb!" Sakura shouted as she crossed her arms in front of her face. Immediately, a lump of chakra was launched from Kido's mouth. The moment it left Kido's mouth, the ball of chakra swelled in size as it headed towards Sakura. Somehow, she managed to avoid a direct hit, but half of her body was still struck. Sakura cried out in pain. The impact was tremendous. She was sent flying across the woods until she slammed into an enormous boulder, cracking it as she came to a stop. Sliding onto the ground, she couldn't stand right away. Just breathing sent fierce pain rushing through her body. Her limbs didn't move properly at first, but eventually she finally managed to stand up. "I won't stop," Sakura spat, her voice hoarse from screaming and the pain that came from breathing. Kido cocked his head to the side. Sakura smiled as he noticed it. The thin crack running along his skin, it wasn't healing this time. The pieces in the center were beginning to peel away. "The cells in that place, they're dead," Sakura said as his chest continued to peel off and fall away in chunks. While I pounded on your chest, I sent healing chakra into it. It instantly repaired the cracks that appeared. I made it look like you weren't being hurt, so I could speed up the death of those cells in your body. The number of times the cell in your bodies can divide is limited. At some point they die off. Sakura clenched her fist. One more hit, Sakura thought. Staggering at first, Sakura started running to launch one final blow. In her field of view, she saw Kido's mouth opening yet again. "Damn it, it's another Biju bomb!" Dropping low, 10 meters in front of Kido, she slammed her fist into the ground. The earth shook, and Kido wobbled as he lost his balance. In that brief instant, Sakura danced up the debris right before him. With the last bits of her chakra, she slammed her fist into Kido's chest. She felt her fist snap at the perfect hit. Kido flew through the air, cutting down enormous trees, ripping the earth, and pulverizing massive boulders. Blood flew from Kito's mouth, shifting his brain into bits as memories from the depths of his brain appeared. Several fierce collisions thundered through the air before the forest finally fell silent. End quote. Now, I don't know about you, but this is a fight that I would have loved to have seen in the Naruto Shippuden anime when they adapted the Naruto epilogue novels. Imagine seeing Sakura being pierced by a Biju chakra tail, blood dripping from the wound as she used the chakra that was released, that was stored inside of her seal, to heal the wound while running through that same tail itself, basically inflicting damage on her body while healing the previous injuries. Imagine seeing Sakura practically tank a Biju bomb at point blank range, hit with so much force that just breathing became a problem for her. One thing that I love about the Sakura epilogue novel is that Sakura's character is given a true purpose, it's given a drive, it's given a journey to follow. When she learns that Kito is trying to frame Sasuke while undermining the peace that Naruto worked so hard to establish, the same peace that Sasuke felt that he needed to go on to a redemption journey in order to protect it, she decides to take on Kito despite being unsure she can actually win. Just the pressure from the tails being waved around, snapped branches, and when she didn't send enough chakra through her body fast enough, it nearly knocked her unconscious. In a callback to part 1 of Naruto, we see the classic maneuvers of the move hidden behind the move, much like you did when you saw Tamari and Shikamaru fight during the Chunin exams. First, after having a chakra tail not only pierce her body, but completely run through it, Sakura uses that moment to put a plan into action. She uses the shock value of running through the actual tail, ripping through her body and causing more wounds to open up, all while simultaneously healing herself. Imagine being impaled by a sword and then running through that same sword in order to attack your enemy. The pain that you would experience would be insane, so great that most people would pass out if not die from the same maneuver. Then, Sakura struck Kito's body while healing the exact same spot that she struck so as to make it appear that he'd been unharmed, lulling him into a false sense of security, all while she was killing the cells in that one area that she punched. She kept enduring pain until Kito's body had split its cells to its breaking point, which allowed her the chance to land one final blow to end this battle. For Sakura, winning this battle alone is impressive because Naruto and Kakashi were on their way. Sasuke was also in this area with the intention of saving Sakura. The romance between Naruto and Hinata was the subject of many debates when the Naruto manga ended. Naruto the Last didn't fully win over some of the fans, which has led to special chapters showing their dates being released in a data book and for the novelization for Naruto the Last. We've even been given a glimpse of their dating life in a couple of the Naruto epilogue novels. However, anyone who's ever been in a relationship will tell you that not every date goes smoothly. In today's video, I plan to share with you all Naruto's most head-scratching decision during one of his dates with Hinata. Back in the fall of 2014, after the Naruto manga ran its final chapter in Shonen Jump, one of the biggest questions in the fandom going into chapter 700 was who would Naruto end up with? Would it be Hinata or would it be Sakura? As we all know, in the years afterwards, Kishimoto stated that he purposely trolled fans into thinking that Naruto would choose Sakura, which interestingly enough contradicts something he said in one of his other interviews when it comes to a Naruto and Sakura relationship, but that's something I'll save for another video if you guys are interested in it. What's most important is the fact that the Naruto manga, as it wound down, Kishimoto began working with a team of writers for a big project that he and Shueisha planned to announce in the weeks after Naruto's final chapter ran. As we all know, Kishimoto in Shonen Jump formally announced the Naruto the Last movie would be the canon continuation of the Naruto series and would kick off the Naruto New Era project, which was a release of canon material that would continue the Naruto story, which, like Naruto the Last, saw Kishimoto give away the duties of writing the story to several groups of writers, and Kishimoto would come back to make corrections to the final draft. Like with Naruto the Last, Kishimoto brought in a group of shoujo writers to help lay the framework for the romance between Naruto and Hinata, because he stated that he was too embarrassed to write the scenes for the movie and that he couldn't bring himself to do it in the manga, though he had ideas, because he viewed Hinata and Naruto as being his children. This brings up Naruto's awkward date with Hinata, which takes place just after Naruto the Last. In fact, this scene takes place 2 years after Naruto defeated Tsunade, and Naruto and Hinata have just only gotten engaged in this scene. The passage I'm about to read comes from the Naruto epilogue novel, Sakura's Story, Love Riding the Spring Breeze, which was released as a part of the Naruto New Era project. Sakura has just stumbled across Naruto and Hinata. Seeing the two of them together fills Sakura with a bit of jealousy, but in typical Naruto Uzumaki knuckleheaded fashion, he completely misreads Hinata's body language and Sakura's behavior. It's here I'll begin reading a few select passages from this novel and then come back with a brief analysis, and it's here that I quote, "Sakura-chan," a voice that she knew all too well said from behind. "Naruto, Hinata," Sakura said, turning around to see the couple in street clothes. "What's this, a date?" she asked, eyeing Naruto. "Yep. For once, we're both off duty," Naruto said. "What about you, Sakura?" Hinata asked. "A meeting with Ino at the hospital. I've heard about that, you know. Whatchamacallit thingy, children's, something center? Naruto. The Children's Therapy Center. So, are you two off to dinner?" Sakura asked. Naruto came over to whisper in Sakura's ear. "In a copy of a book that Sai gave me, it said that a guy should pay for all of the dates, but a full-course dinner is super expensive, you know." Sakura giggled at the slightly pale expression on Naruto's face. "What are you two talking about?" Hinata asked, cocking her head to one side. End quote. It's shortly after this that Naruto makes his huge mistake. He invites Sakura to dinner with his fiancée, who he has not seen in a long time due to him constantly being on missions outside of the village or teaching at the academy while Hinata is away on a mission. I chose to stop this scene here for 2 reasons. First, the following bits of passage are mostly exposition going over the events of Naruto the Last and Sakura's jealousy at the blooming relationship between Naruto and Hinata. Neither of those needed to be recapped, especially Sakura's feelings when it comes to the fact that it's mostly rooted in the fact that Sasuke is away from the village. Getting into what we just read, I chose to stop this passage when Hinata cocked her head to one side. I want you guys to take your knowledge from the characters and put it to the side for a moment. Imagine that you're on a date with your boyfriend or your girlfriend who you have not had a chance to spend equal time with in a long time. For you to run into the person who was openly known to be your significant other's crush for many years. Imagine seeing your boyfriend or girlfriend whisper in the ear of that crush, and you see him or her giggle in a very affectionate way. Hinata might not have meant to do so, but the quick reaction is consistent with someone being protected over a love interest, wanting to stay at the center of their attention. Hinata spent years pining away after Naruto, while Naruto chased after Sakura, who chased after Sasuke. Even subconsciously, in that one moment, it might have caused a bit of insecurity to creep up in Hinata, but Naruto's goofy charm was enough to make Hinata laugh and soon afterwards brush it off. However, if that wasn't bad enough, Naruto proceeded to invite Sakura to dinner with both he and Hinata, even though it's the first real date that he and Hinata have had in a very long time. Even though Sakura notices the change in Hinata, she's quick to act on Naruto's behalf the moment she sees that Hinata cocked her head from side to side, because she knows that Naruto's goofy gestures caused Hinata to change her demeanor. Even being the faithful wing woman that Sakura is, it's worth noting that she had to push Naruto and Hinata away, telling them to enjoy their date together, putting emphasis on date, and she scolds Naruto for being inconsiderate to Hinata for inviting her to their dinner. So what do you guys think? Did Naruto dodge a bullet with Hinata there, or was Sakura just the better wing woman in that moment? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have an awesome day.
She was definitely a better wing woman, because
showing up to court dressed like a dumbass, acting like you can't.
no person in this right universe gonna let you invite your girl that you used to like over the top. I used to like let's just say for instance, one high school, I used to like this girl, dated her though, but that's different. It didn't even last long, literally lasted for a day. But let's just say for instance, I'm like, hey, a girl came in town, I'm gonna invite her to our date. I see her at a restaurant and it's just her by herself. I'm like, oh, you come sit down with us? Like, yeah, Naruto was in the wrong for that one, but it's crazy. It's
For several decades in the
Naruto
Narutoverse, the power of the nine-tailed beasts were coveted by each of the ninja villages and by organizations like the Akatsuki. As we saw in the Naruto War arc, Naruto Uzumaki sharing only a small portion of his power with regular ninja boosted their chakra levels several dozens upon dozens of times. It makes sense. The full power of the Kyuubi alone is arguably stronger than that of all the other eight-tailed beasts combined. However, at the end of the Naruto manga, the tailed beasts were all separated, but the quest for their power never stopped. In today's Naruto Explained video, I'm going to share with you all the story behind the tailed beast drug and how Naruto Uzumaki sharing his power during the 4th grade ninja war ended up birthing the idea behind the creation of this drug. So, you might be asking yourself, just what is the tailed beast drug and where did this come from? Well, the information is given to us in the Naruto epilogue novel, Sakura Story, Love Riding the Spring Breeze. The tailed beast drug is a pill that was developed by a high-ranking member of the Anbu, who not only answered to Kakashi, but also appeared before the feudal lord of the Land of Fire, pushing for an increase in the Anbu budget and to take away funds from the medical clinics that Sakura Haruno was setting up in the years after the 4th Great Ninja War. These pills acted much in the same way that Naruto sharing his Kyuubi chakra did. Any ninja who took one of these pills got a massive boost in power. However, these pills not only took this power boost to another level, instead of just getting a Kyuubi cloak, ninja who got a hold of these pills were able to manifest tailed beast chakra arms to use in battle. In fact, after Sakura, Ino, and Sai are attacked by a group of Anbu who have each taken these pills, the battle gets so intense that Kakashi assembles a team of himself, Naruto, and Hinata to provide backup to Sakura's unit because the effects of the battle were great enough to attract Kakashi's attention all the way into Hokage Tower. Production of these pills was started shortly after the Infinite Tsukiyomi was undone by Naruto and Sasuke. Anbu, who were directly loyal to Danzo, scoured the location of the final valley looking for DNA traces of Naruto Uzumaki. It's from the blood and hair of Naruto, as well as the remnants of his chakra, and from the corpse of a descendant of the Sage of Six Paths that the pills were created. The number of tailed beast tails that a ninja can produce varies depending on a number of factors, including the potency of...
Did you hear that? Corpse of a descendant of the Sage of Six Paths. So that means it's one of the kids of, I don't even know if Indra even had kids, but Ashura. So if he had kids, who the fuck was it? And if Indra had kids, who the fuck was it? Because they just found their descendants, their descendant dead already. D-E-D, dead. So it's like, even though I heard this part, it just, sometimes when you read or watch something and you really pay attention, you hear something that you ain't hear the first time. Or see something you ain't see this first time or something. That is one of the things. Cause like, that means like, in Naruto, it was a descendant running around somewhere. That's crazy. Just to have, I don't even know if I should call it a mixed breed, because over time it kept going from, it went from alien to human, to human, to human, to human, to human, even though the descendant was a little bit Osotsuki, they really wasn't, you know what I'm saying? No, I ain't gonna even have that idea, because for a minute I was like, maybe Kawaki, you know, parents or grandparents or something.
Of the drug that was taken, the amount of chakra that the user has, and the amount of chakra that their body can handle. In the battle I mentioned earlier, Sai and Ino struggle mightily, and for good reason. Their power is nowhere near that of even a one-tailed Kyuubi cloak. However, both of them figure out a weakness to the tailed beast drug. Though these drugs provide much power, they come with a huge time limit, which is what Sai and Ino discover, and it can vary depending on the chakra levels of the user who is taking this drug. The chakra cloak that embeds the body also leaves the user very vulnerable, which means that someone like Sakura, who possesses extreme strength, can land a hit in just the right place at the right time. Then they can knock the user unconscious and cause the chakra cloak to disappear, which is exactly how Sai was able to overcome one of the ninja that he and Ino fought, who managed to take one of the tail beast drugs. In Sakura's battle, things get really interesting. Anbu takes an even more potent version of the drug, which allows him to sprout all 9 tails, and they were much denser in appearance than anything Sakura had seen before in her previous battles. In fact, as time progresses, each tail that is being sprouted, he begins to look more and more like the real Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. In fact, it's during his battle that he fires off countless Biju bombs at Sakura, who ends up having to use the Creation Rebirth Jutsu to heal her physical injuries in her vital organs that were damaged during the attack. It's in the battle that ensues that Sakura either dodges Biju bombs or gets flat out smacked all the way across the forest. Finally, to put the power of these drugs into even further perspective, at the end of the novel there were dozens of root ninja, each who either had a tail beast drug or the Sharingan pill, which I can cover for you guys in a future video if you want. However, Sasuke returns to the village with the intention of saving Sakura, but Sasuke takes down the remaining Anbu. In his wake, Sasuke leads the flames of his fireball jutsu and Amaterasu, as well as placing several of these ninja under genjutsu. However, Sasuke leaves the scene before Sakura and Kakashi are able to catch up with him. So that's it for my video today, guys. So what are your thoughts about the tail beast drug? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Thank you so much for watching, guys.
Zaxby's hand-breaded chicken, fire-roasted corn, crunchy tortilla strips, cheddar jack cheese.
I know it looked like we didn't finish that, but y'all saw that we finished that.
When it comes to the relationship of Sasuke and Sakura, there are many people who have asked, how in the world did these two fall in love? Which I've already covered in another video, but there are also plenty of fans who make very passionate arguments that the Naruto manga has sprinkled signs that the two of them shared a deeper connection that wasn't accurately portrayed in the Naruto anime, especially when you consider how they blew up a lot of other aspects of the characters of Sasuke and Sakura. However, as I was going back and I was looking up information about Sasuke for a future video that I'm working on, I really got the urge to talk about the memory of Sasuke that Sakura holds closest to her heart and explain to you guys why it's arguably the most important memory of Sasuke that she has. So while I don't get into the pairing wars, though, you know, somebody wants to call me out for the fact that I've done various fan pairings using my Naruto what ifs. Just as a news flash, when people ask me to make the what if I find it fascinating, I make the actual video. So I just wanted to kind of talk about this because it adds a very important layer to the Sasuke and Sakura dynamic, and it really makes you appreciate the complexity of their relationship as we see it unfold in the Sasuke Redstone novel. So in this newest installment of After Naruto Shippuden, we're going to take a look at Sakura's most treasured and most important memory of Sasuke. So for those of you guys who are new, After Naruto Shippuden is a series on the channel where we take a look at the story of Naruto after the events of Naruto chapter 699 and before Naruto chapter 700 of the manga. Now, the information is given to us in the Naruto epilogue novel, Sakura's story, Love Riding the Spring Breeze, which is set after the events of Naruto the Last. Now, in this scene, we see Sakura deep in her thoughts as she starts out recalling her own private thoughts about the night that Sasuke left Konoha to join Orochimaru. But after revealing how much that moment actually affected her, we shift to Sakura's thoughts upon seeing Naruto and Sasuke bleeding out from the battle. So what I'll do for you guys now is I'll actually read the scene in question, then I'll come back to you guys with my thoughts, and it's here I'm going to begin quoting. There was a terrible fight. No, that word, it doesn't begin to do it justice. There was a fight that nearly destroyed the world. And then that's when Sasuke came back to us. Once the battle was over, he left on a journey. I told him I wanted to go with him, and he said, "You have nothing to do with my sins." But then he continued, "I'll see you soon. Thank you." And then he poked my forehead. "I'll see you soon. Thank you." I repeated those words over and over again in my heart, along with the remembered sensation of his poke. We started with, "You're so annoying," and we made it all the way to "I'll see you soon." My heart feels a little warmer somehow when I think about it like that. Sasuke-kun, Where are you now, Sasuke? Well, me, right now, I'm in quote. So what I love about this passage is that we see how deeply affected Sakura was by Sasuke first telling her that his sins were now his own for him to atone, but also how she kept replaying the moment over and over again in her head. She previously revealed that she knew that Sasuke was joining Orochimaru. When that happened, a small part of her still believed that Sasuke could be saved because of how he told her back then, thank you, before he knocked her unconscious, and he gently placed her body on the bench before leaving Konoha. Sakura watching Sasuke leave the village to atone for his sins is really important because it rewards that side of her that showed faith in him, and it's also very symbolic. The last time she saw him when he was ready to leave the village, he knocked her unconscious, and he made it easier to sever those bonds by doing so. This time, Sasuke poked her forehead and he promised to return to her. That one touch conveyed feelings to Sakura that she looked back at for strength. However, the reason why this is such a really important moment for Sakura and a really important memory for Sakura is the fact that she trails off when she's wondering where she is in her life and where her life is headed. Sakura, by this point in the timeline, was the only person not named Shikamaru to be given the rank of Jonin, which it should be noted that Naruto was never officially given that rank. In the anime, you had a scene where there was a conditional appointment for Naruto to become Jonin, but Naruto did not fill those conditions, and we know by the events of Naruto the Last, according to Masashi Kishimoto's data book for Naruto the Last, that Naruto was still listed as a Genin. So you have to look at it from this perspective. So Sakura was also, at the age of 19, the lead medic in Konoha. She was running the village hospital, and she was in the process of setting up medical clinics in each of the 5 great nations when the scene occurs. Even Tsunade applauded her for her accomplishments, and Sakura still felt incomplete and like she hadn't done enough during the time that Sasuke had left to begin his redemption journey. It's really bittersweet when you look at it. So being objective and taking all that hate aside, I know a lot of people get super upset whenever you mention Sakura. She's a very polarizing character. So being objective, she's accomplished so much, and yet when she looks back at that moment, when Sasuke left her, Sakura can clearly see what Sasuke's end goal is, the atonement for his sins, and yet Sakura is still working towards that same end goal herself, which makes her journey throughout the Sakura Hida novel feel really earned once she's accomplished that goal. Well guys, that's gonna be it for this newest. Now, one question I get a lot is if I'll ever do more videos on Sasuke Uchiha during what is known as his redemption journey after the war ended, in particular when it comes to the blank period. Now, on my original channel, Kryptonian Saiyan, as well as here on Naruto Explained, I touched on Sasuke's journey in a few different videos. Most of the time when I've done those videos, it's usually been pretty well received. So I thought it was time to discuss one of the most important periods of Sasuke's redemption journey after the war had ended. In today's edition of After Naruto Shippuden, we're gonna take a look at Sasuke Uchiha's rebellion after the 4th Great Ninja War. For those of you who are new, After Naruto Shippuden is a series on the channel where we cover the story of Naruto that takes place after the end of the 4th Great Ninja War, starting at chapter 699, but before chapter 700, which is the start of the Boruto era. So, going back to Sasuke's rebellion, the thing I really want to stress here is that this is a really complicated scenario. So, Sasuke Uchiha did start a rebellion against the 5 Great Nations. However, it wasn't Sasuke Uchiha who started the rebellion against the 5 Great Nations. So, for those of you guys who are confused, allow me to clarify. After the events of Naruto the Last, someone pretending to be Sasuke Uchiha was going around the ninja world, in particular the criminal underworld, as well as to the areas where former shinobi who had denounced the 5 Great Nations after the 4th Great Ninja War and experienced the infinite Tsukiyomi had decided to say they had enough of being a ninja for the 5 Great Nations. And so during this time period, someone pretending to be Sasuke was gathering resources to create an army to turn against the 5 Great Nations. The reason why all this is made possible was due to the former followers of Danzo, who after Naruto and Sasuke fought during the 4th Great Ninja War, they traveled to the Final Valley to gather the DNA that Naruto and Sasuke left behind when they're bleeding out on the stone statues of Hashirama and Madara on that debris. And so this led to the creation of the Tailed Beast drug and the Sharingan pills. Now, I've already done a video on the Tailed Beast drug, which I recommend checking out on this topic, which I recommend checking out since I went really in detail about what this drug was. Now, it's important to state that we learned this information in the Sakura Hida novel, Love Riding the Spring Breeze, when Sakura Sakura travels to Hidden Sand Village to speak with Gar. The information was kept classified by Gar due to wanting Konoha to have a chance to uncover the truth, but rumblings were growing in the 5 great nations that Sasuke Uchiha was attempting to start a war right underneath their noses. So essentially, things that got so heated enough that there was a very real threat that the 5 Kage would have to call a 5 Kage summit to order the pursuit as well as the execution of Sasuke, which is why Kakashi ordered a special 3-man team and had Sakura Haruno placed in that team to gather evidence of Sasuke's innocence. So I really want you guys to think about how hard of a place that Kakashi as Hokage was in by even making this order. So look at it from this perspective. You remember how in Naruto chapter 699, Kakashi directly told Sasuke that if it hadn't been for him using his political capital as the 6th Hokage and Naruto directly testifying on behalf of Sasuke that he would have been given life in prison if it weren't for these facts, and we saw this very briefly with the ceiling tags that were placed over Sasuke's Sharingan and Rinnegan, as well as how Sasuke's entire body was bound with chakra restraints. Kakashi said that if Sasuke put one toe out of line, then it will be all on Kakashi, and so when all these rumors popped up, if the proof to clear Sasuke was not presented at the upcoming 5 Kage summit, Kakashi would be forced to order the capture and the execution of Sasuke. Now, you might ask yourself, how did someone pull off pretending to be Sasuke? Was it something as simple as a transformation jutsu? Well, not exactly, but that's a really good guess. So the Anbu who pretended to be Sasuke used what's known as the Sharingan pill that was created from Sasuke's DNA. So when Sakura was held captive, the likeliness of this transformation, which caused the person to fit Sasuke's appearance to the T, was so well done that Sakura, someone we can all agree probably knows every small detail about Sasuke's face, was fooled by it, from everything down to the voice, to the mannerisms, to the Sharingan eye that she was able to see. And the only reason why Sakura knew that it wasn't Sasuke is because she knew Sasuke wasn't in the village. Now, things got so bad to a certain level of foolery that after everything had gone on, in particular Sakura being held captive under the premise that ended up being proven true, that upon hearing that Sakura was captured, Sasuke would be the one to come back to Konoha. Now, it's at this point that Kido and his men hope to use the power of the Tail Beast drug, their sheer numbers, and the Sharingan pills to subdue Sasuke upon returning to Konoha territory and capture him. Now, the whole reason for this is that by capturing Sasuke and keeping him under ceiling tags, Kido hoped to experiment on Sasuke in order to fully create an effective Sharingan that would be given to the highest bidders, and so it will allow him to start a war by selling the already perfected Tail Beast drugs alongside the Sharingan pills, giving one side the power of the Tail Beast and giving the other side the power of the Sharingan, all while making Sasuke Uchiha the person who took the blame. In the end, Kido was defeated by Sakura and Sasuke's name was cleared by the 5 Kage. However, that's going to be it for this installment of After Naruto Shippuden, but as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day. For an elite ninja in the world of Naruto, passing on their knowledge about ninjutsu and the shinobi world is something that can be seen as a bit of a rite of passage. Some do this by passing on their beliefs, lessons learned, and their ninja way to their gaining teams that they lead. Others take the less desirable approach and teach future ninja while they're still at the academy. Naruto Uzumaki is no different in that regard. In fact, in the time after the events of Naruto the Last, Naruto Uzumaki actually taught as an academy teacher, which is very ironic given the fact that Naruto is hands down the worst behaved student in academy history. Karma is a bitch, in order to paraphrase for a second. However, just how exactly was somebody like Naruto, somebody whose brain cells don't really have 2 quarters to rub together and isn't exactly the most book smart person in the world, actually teach a classroom of young and impressionable academy students? Well, about a year ago, I talked to you guys about why Naruto taught at the academy before becoming Hokage, but I never actually took you into the classroom setting where everyone's favorite hyperactive knuckleheaded ninja was actually teaching inside the classroom. So in this latest installment of After Naruto Shippuden, we're going to be taking a look at how Naruto taught at the academy, in particular in a classroom setting. Now, the purpose of these videos is to fill in a lot of the major gaps that exist in the story that anime-only fans are basically unaware of in a lot of cases, and even some of the most hardcore Naruto fans have no idea that this stuff happened. So in this instance, the information is actually going to be given to us from the Sakura Hiden novel, Love Riding the Spring Breeze. Now, to add context to this scene, Sakura Sakura has taken a page out of Hinata's book. So she's spying on Naruto from the shadows, and she's been watching from a distance as Naruto carries out his lessons at the academy during one of the brief moments where Naruto was not away on a high-profile mission or attending some big meeting that he had to attend, because at this time, Naruto was still being groomed to be the next Hokage. Now, the events of this scene are almost 1 year after the Naruto versus Tsunade battle, and Naruto's fame has grown impossibly ever since then. Now, what makes this scene so special is the fact that Naruto is teaching at the academy, despite the fact that Naruto has never been promoted to Chunin or Jonin. I know. Naruto Shippuden had that scene where Kakashi conditionally promoted Naruto to Jonin, with the big loophole that a lot of people leave out is the fact that Naruto has to pass all the required intellectual tests, but we all know Naruto ain't studying no books. That's the reason why in the Naruto The Last Data book, Masashi Kishimoto wrote that Naruto was still a genin, and in the Boruto anime, Naruto even says himself, like, yeah, I didn't really go through the ninja ranks. Like, I was a genin, and they just made me Hokage. So you might ask, so if this is the case, then why was Naruto ever allowed to teach at the academy in the first place? Like, can you imagine being a parent and say, this guy's teaching your student? Like, this guy who got all F's at the academy, failed the academy graduation exam 3 times? Are you really gonna let him anywhere near your students? I don't know right there. Again, we just gotta kind of pump the brakes for a second, because this is really cool. So the reason why Naruto got that pass is that by this point in the timeline, everyone had already acknowledged the fact that Naruto possessed the power to be Hokage. I mean, the dude casually showed, just using the power of the Kyuubi, that he was able to put major cracks on the moon when he was fighting against Tsunade. So surely doing a little paperwork would be enough for Naruto to handle, am I right? Well, the major concern that both Kakashi and Tsunade had about Naruto is that despite his massive power, Naruto still wasn't mature enough to be Hokage. Though by the events of this scene, Naruto had made amazing strides. However, deep inside of Naruto still rested that young boy who would randomly play pranks for attention, and he would take a great deal of time to figure out how to express how he truly felt in some situations. So as a better way to prepare Naruto for his future position as Hokage, it was decided during the time that when Naruto wasn't on high-level missions or attending those important meetings, that Naruto would pass on his knowledge to the next generation by teaching at the academy. It was so important for Naruto to see the young faces of the children who he would one day assign missions to when they became adults. Not only that, but he would also be leading a village where these academy students would one day have children of their own attending the academy. Naruto needed to see firsthand what the king was that the shinobi had to protect. However, unlike Shikamaru, he didn't have anyone who taught him this lesson via shogi, but instead, Naruto would learn this lesson by bonding with the students that he taught. So what I'll do now is cover this scene in question, then I'll come back to you guys my thoughts about this excerpt from the Sakura novel, which I'll leave down in the description box for anyone who wants to read the novel and help support the channel. So it's here I'm going to begin quoting. Sakura looked over at the teacher giving the lesson. Oh, it's Naruto. Come on, you guys. Don't just go through the motions. I mean, seriously. You actually have to think about the next attack and get yourself ready, you know. Sakura had heard that Naruto began teaching at the academy after the 4th grade ninja war as a special lecturer. The longer she watched him, the more Sakura realized that Naruto's actually doing an excellent job. Hey, you! When you're done, make sure you eat the sign of reconciliation. Whether you're strong or you're weak or whatever, you know, it's just a ninja rule. You gotta do that thing. Sakura noticed that the students who did not follow Naruto's instructions received a sharp hit on the head. Sakura approved. Oh, Naruto, you were like that too, way back then. Sakura told herself in her head as she smiled softly at Naruto. After he gave his instructions to the students, Naruto had them lined up and bowed his head to them. End quote. So what really fascinates me here is the fact that Naruto quickly shifts gears from being the observant teacher who encourages his students to being the firm disciplinarian, knocking his students over the head, just as Iruka had to do to Naruto countless times, and we ain't even got to keep track of how many times Sakura hit this dude in the anime. In the manga, it wasn't as much. I did a video breaking that down, why Sakura hits Naruto, but you guys can check that out at your own leisure. However, it's very ironic that the former class clown is now the one who upholds the rules and keeps the unruly members of his classroom in check. However, what this does show is that when given a small bit of a responsibility, Naruto is now at the point where he's starting to take things seriously because he knows he has eyes on him wherever he goes, especially when he conducts these classes. His Hokage dream is now well within his reach, and it's time for the boy who once played pranks to now become the young man steering the next generation along their path to becoming ninjas. It's also very important for Naruto to look into these young faces of future ninjas so that when he did become Hokage and did start assigning missions, the names on the ninja registry were more than just a photo or a ninja registration ID. The ninja that Naruto sent off into potentially life-ending missions could have well been one of his former students at the academy, which is what Naruto needed in order to fully grasp the severity of his role as Hokage. So what did you guys think about this? How do you feel about Naruto as an academy teacher, and do you wish something like this would have been adapted in Naruto Shippuden? Let me know down in the comment section below, but that's gonna be it for this newest installment of After Naruto Shippuden. As always, guys, yo, what's going on, guys? So before we get into today's video, just gotta say that today's video is gonna be brought to you by Beautiful Halo, and I gotta say, if you guys want to purchase some really awesome anime merchandise, everything from Boruto / Naruto to Black Clover, My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball, click down in the description box and use my link below in order to do so. It's also a really great way to help support the channel. As a bit of an added bonus, a lot of their anime merchandise, like you saw in the video just now, is on sale right now, and there's free worldwide shipping on anything over $29. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. Comes to three-man teams in Konoha, many fans will likely bring up the usual names: Team Kakashi, and eventually somebody will bring up Team Asuma, which is better known as the Inoshika Chill Trio. However, what if I told you there was a three-man team, a special three-man team that served a very important role after the events of the 4th Great Ninja War, in particular after the events of Naruto the Last? Well, in today's installment of After Naruto Shippuden, we're going to discuss the team that was formed. Now, for those of you guys who are new, keeping it very brief, After Naruto Shippuden is a series on this channel where I cover the story of Naruto after the events of chapter 699 and before the start of the Boruto era. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in. So the Inosaku Sai Trio was specifically formed by Kakashi in the events that unfolded after Naruto the Last. This team obviously consisted of Sakura, Ino, and Sai, with Ino being given the leadership of the group, despite the fact that Sakura was a Jonin at this point and Sai already outranked both of them. Sakura at this point in the story, like stated before, was a Jonin, but Sai possessed a unique rank that was given to him by Kakashi that only Sai himself has. Now, the team ended up going on several security and intel gathering missions, but the root of everything was the plot that was used to frame Sasuke Uchiha for going through the criminal underworld to rally people for a rebellion against the 5 great nations. Now, I want you guys to remember this. So you have to remember that Sasuke at this point in the storyline was still paying for his crimes in the 4th Great Ninja War. Many villages and Kages didn't trust him fully, with Kakashi as Hokage and Gar as the Kazekage willing to truly give him a fresh start when his redemption journey began. In another video called Sasuke's Rebellion, I go into more detail about these events, which you can check out after this video if you still want more info. Now, the Inosaku Sai Trio was sent on a mission to gather intel on the threat that saw a very high level of people in the Land of Fire and a Hokage aide be attacked. They were sent on a mission to investigate if Sasuke was truly the one trying to start a war against the 5 great nations. They were meant to investigate one of the Anbu who's under Kakashi, who actually turned out to be a Danzo loyalist who had ties with Root. This person began manufacturing the Tail Beast drug that replicated the power of a Tail Beast to varying degrees, as well as the Sharingan pills, both of which were made from leftover DNA of Naruto and Sasuke when they were bleeding out at the final valley after the 4th Great Ninja War. For more information about the Tail Beast drug, I recommend checking out the video I have on this channel that goes over that topic. The team was also charged.
It's funny how they got the blood from it, but they didn't get no fucking Rinnegan or no Sage Assist Path chakra. They just got the Tail Beast and Sharingan. And then it's a Sharingan that probably manifested to the internal market for Sharingan because it's pattern.
with locating Sakura after the Anbu kidnapped her in an attempt to draw Sasuke to the village, which had already been in progress since Sasuke caught wind of someone trying to frame him for starting a rebellion, and once he grabbed wind that Sakura had been in danger, Sasuke had begun traveling back to Konoha. Their final mission was an all-out brawl against Kido, the leader of that Anbu group, and the Anbu who served underneath him that were loyalists to Danzo. Now, I've covered Sakura's final battle with Kido in detail from start to finish in another video, which saw Kido taking the tail beast drugs that were so potent that they transformed him into a pseudo-transformed Jinchuriki that had 9 tails. The threat that this possessed was so great that Kakashi, upon realizing that Kido's Anbu had transformed into several various different versions of the 9 tails with the 9 tails chakra cloaks, from the standard Kyuubi cloak to even some people having 6 tails, Kakashi formed his own 3-man team with the intention of heading to Konoha's forest before the battle reached the main area of the village. The 2 people that Kakashi chose to be his teammates were none other than Naruto Uzumaki and Hinata Hyuga. Naruto for his raw power and Hinata for Byakugan. I want you to truly understand how severe the situation had gotten and how grave it was. The fact that Naruto was grabbed to assist Kakashi to back up Sakura, and the fact that Kakashi was willing to leave the Hokage office, tells you how intense the battle was getting. Biju bombs, bigger than the size that the one that Four Tails Naruto shot at Orochimaru, were being thrown throughout the battlefield. The ground was shaking from the various attacks that were being dished out, and during Sakura's fight, we saw it being thrown all the way across the other end of Konoha's forest, which I recommend going back and looking at the forest that surrounds Konoha to truly understand how far Sakura got thrown. Not only that, but she also got impaled by a tail from the pseudo 9 tails, and only by using her Byakugo seal was she even able to survive the Biju bomb that hit the side of her body. Just the sheer force of these attacks left Sakura's body shattered, and yet she still had to find the will to continue fighting. Once Sakura left to deal with Kido, Sai and Ino were forced to wrap up the fights with the remaining lower members who didn't have as much chakra, so their chakra cloaks weren't as dangerous. However, not all of these fights were easy, in particular when it came to the medical ninja, who had enough chakra reserves that he was able to sprout a 6-tail version of the 9 tails cloak. Now, just to be clear here, 'cause I know somebody's gonna be saying, oh my god, Sai and Ino are not 6-tail state. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. Just listen for a second. First of all, they struggled mightily in this fight. That's the first thing you need to understand. They struggled in this fight. They had a clear advantage before the medical ninja was able to ingest the tail beast drug. And then once that happened, everything went to hell in a handbasket. So basically, Ino ended up being taken out pretty soon afterwards, leaving Sai to do battle all alone, which saw Sai being on the defensive due to the vast difference in power that existed between himself and the person he was fighting. The only reason why this ninja ended up being defeated was that Ino, upon finally regaining consciousness, used her mind transfer jutsu on a nearby hawk, and she controlled the hawk to pick up a poison kunai, which was then used when the ninja had his guard lowered after Sai finally collapsed in the battle. Ino stabbed the guy in the back of his neck with the poison kunai, and when he tried to take the antidote, Ino reveals that the antidote had already been replaced by an anesthetic that was meant to slow his movements. Between this and the very potent poison, the ninja was brought down to a level where Sai was finally able to take him out. By the time that Sakura was finally able to defeat Kido, Sasuke had already left a blazing trail of fires, burning from the fireball jutsu and the Amaterasu flames that Sasuke used to take down the remaining Anbu members, who possessed the tail beast drugs and the Sharingan pills. By the time that the Ino-Saku side team Kakashi that consisted of Kakashi, Naruto, and Hinata arrived at Sasuke's battlefield, Sasuke had already left the scene upon seeing that Sakura was about to defeat Kido, which is pretty impressive given the fact that, just as Sasuke said in the Naruto Gaiden adaptation when he said, "My wife is not a weak woman," well before he even married Sakura, this was an acknowledgement of his strength. The ending result of this mission was that Kido was charged with kidnapping, he was charged with domestic terrorism inside of Konoha, and international terrorism by trying to start a ninja war and frame Sasuke for it. Most importantly, Sasuke Uchiha's name was cleared, and he was able to continue his redemption journey in peace without the fear of being pursued for his past actions. However, that's going to be it for this edition of After Naruto Shippuden. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.
The whole Shinobi world. Why is he still roaming? Kill this nigga. Kill him. But that's all of it, guys. I appreciate y'all for watching. Please like and subscribe. This is Naruto Explained. Please follow him. Twitter, follow him. Instagram, follow him. Cause these are all his videos. So the pay route, you know, it's all about respect. And then I appreciate him letting me use his videos. Also, if y'all want me to cover the Sakura hidden novel, I can. I told you I got a couple of them, so I could cover any one of those. But I got to listen to y'all. I gotta hear y'all requests for me to actually do so, because I'm not just gonna end up doing it just for me. Cause I can, and that would be great. But I could also just read it on my own time and don't have to record it. You get what I'm saying? So if y'all ever want to read, not read, but y'all want to listen to it, or y'all want to see little panels then, or something like that, then I would happily do so. We can live stream them. I could read over time, show you the pictures, all that type of stuff. But thank y'all for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm sorry that this video is so long, but